Why commercial off plan is Dubai's next big thing, why you should be looking into this market besides the residential market here in Dubai. Because a lot of businesses are now setting up here in Dubai, a lot of people are moving here in Dubai, and there is always a demand and supply logic that works behind this. I'm Shireen Kapoor. This is my YouTube channel. We are going to discuss with it from an investor and an advisory point of view. I'm a legal advisor as well here, and I help businesses move. I also help in renting out spaces or investing into commercial real estate. And from that perspective and from that professional angle, I'll be able to guide you through this process. So in my commercial off plan series, I'm going to start with basics. I'll help you answer some questions which come in your mind when you think about commercial real estate investment here in Dubai. And with the help of Simran today from my team, we'll be diving into this.
Hi, everybody, and thank you, Shireen, for introducing me. So, let's dive directly into the questions. The first question is: how is commercial real estate different from the residential real estate, especially when it comes to off plan?
Yeah, so I would say that Dubai is going through a surge, right? And there's a lot of commercial as well as residential events happening here, a lot of activity happening here. Now, for residential, there is the Fitch report, there is Knight Frank reports, there are a number of reliable reports which tell you that the residential supply is there and it's going to be there. Except of course the residential market is absolutely different. When it comes to commercial, your entire risk revenue model changes. What you're dealing with is basically businesses that are going to come here, businesses that are going to open here, retail spaces that are going to go in, maybe in mixed type of buildings. There are going to be warehouses. There are also in commercial will be hotels, will be service industries, offices to start with, right? People looking for single stations, people looking for setting up businesses like full floor offices, people wanting a medium size office or unit. So in commercial, you're dealing as tenants mostly with businesses, mostly with individuals who are again looking for workspace, or businesses doing retail activities, or big manufacturing who are wanting to lease warehouses. Now, what I understand from commercial off plan, and why specifically I say off plan, look at Business Bay, Simran. Business Bay itself, if you look, like we were looking for an office for such a long time, and the buildings are so different, everything is so fragmented. In secondary market, you just don't have that level of that furnishing, that fitted offices, grade A offices. You just don't have that, and options are very limited. And why off plan? Because again, the demand you can see has increased so much that just within last quarter 70,000 companies have opened up here in Dubai. Now this I'm talking about mainland companies with DED, but there are also free zone companies. Then there is a DIFC which says that they have seen a lot of surge. DIFC court cases have increased. So that essentially means that a lot of business activity from global this thing is gonna come here. And what are people gonna do when they come here as residents? They're gonna do some work, some business, some activity, even if it's e-commerce thing. They still need place. Nobody actually likes to work from home that much. As well, if people who are opening up businesses, they want to be in a happening space, they want maybe the showrooms, maybe the mall outlets, something or the other keeps coming or going in commercial real estate. And with off plan, the good thing is you leverage on the payment plans, you leverage as first mover advantage, you leverage the phase process, and you leverage the location, right? Because there are only certain business hubs which need to be connected to a lot of roadways, transportation, etc. So commercial off plan is what I think is the next big thing happening here in Dubai after residential, some parts of residential.
That's great. So why do you think commercial real estate is gaining traction in 2024 and 2025?
Yeah, so if you look at the data after COVID, or especially people like me also moved, right? We moved in the COVID duration, during COVID. We just thought UAE as a safe haven, not just in terms of tax residency. I always say for the sense of security, for the visionary leadership that we have here, number of factors that can go on, and I can speak about UAE as a country. But if you look Dubai as a city, it's actually a magnetic place right now.
Yeah.
With all the wealth of global people coming in, people moving in from UK, people moving in from Europe, which is a big influx right now.
It's become a
India's
business
always
hub.
been an
Yeah.
influx, but UK and Europe is now also an increasing influx. So with this kind of mixed community and with this kind of global migration, I think this is one of the biggest factor. The second factor I see that why commercial is going to do well is because of the simple demand supply principle. Now, as I said previously, you will not be getting a grade A office with all the amenities
Yeah.
at this point here in Business Bay. But if you look at the luxury sector, like look at Opus Towers,
Yes.
or look at the new
𝐲𝐻𝐻,
right? They are
yeah.
coming up with, even other developers like 𝐲𝐻𝐻, etc. They are also coming into grade A offices, and everybody understands that. See, if you are doing business, if you're conducting business, you are charging a rent or you are buying a space, you would want those amenities because that's what your client wants, that's what your staff wants, that's what big companies they
Yeah.
want. They want comfort for their human resources. So
True.
it's very important, and that is I think that is now the next big thing because of this simple demand and supply, and there is no supply in secondary. There is literally
supply.
no supply for commercial, which is good. Reports from JLL and Knight Frank show that Dubai's grade A office rent jumps from 25.2 year on year in Q1 2025, while occupancy exceeded 92% in prime districts such as DIFC, Downtown Dubai, and Business Bay. Even JLT has an increasing rate of rental yield. Retail rents in super prime locations rose 14.7%, and vacancy rates have dropped below 10%. Limited supply and robust demand mean that new high quality spaces being snapped up.
So how is government initiative supporting business landscape in Dubai?
Actually, a very well asked question, because the government itself is working towards this common goal of making this economy the biggest economy in the next decade. So what we need to understand is that the government policy initiatives are all working in that direction. Be it example, just say for example 100% foreign ownership.
Yeah.
Earlier this was not allowed. There was nomination, there was a local shareholder in mainland companies that you needed, and that was a nominal shareholder, right? So that essentially means that the government is working towards it. Now, even if they have introduced VAT, which is applicable in commercial investments,
Yes.
which is the 5%, but as an individual or as a company, if you are buying the property and the VAT is applicable to you, you can at the same time reclaim that once you have, you can show the business expense or other ways of taking that refund. So, I mean, the entire system is working on a very globalized way, and also the government policies, for example, supporting startups, supporting entrepreneurs, just in making investment visa so easy.
Yeah.
Just imagine 2 million dirhams, and not in offline, you don't have to give everything upfront. It
Yes.
could be at just 24% like in Dubai, 10% plus the DLD, and that all makes all the sense that this government is visionary in its approach, and at the same time they are taking this market super seriously.
So Shireen, what are your first questions anyone who wants to invest in commercial real estate?
So my overarching broad questions are:
Yeah.
Are you looking for rental yield? What is your goal? I mean, if it's capital, if it's rental, then accordingly I'd suggest, if there are some business locations which are like the hub, like the IFC,
Yeah.
Business Bay, JLT. You can't go wrong with these locations. But there are also emerging hubs like Silicon Oasis, Dubai Islands. Those areas are also having commercial
DLRC
demand.
is also coming up,
DLRC
yeah.
also, right? So there are a lot of locations which are emerging market. And then of course my other question is, what's your budget in terms of making the down payment? Because remember, in off plan you are again leveraging the payment plan.
Yes.
And that's very important. So my overarching broad questions are this. And coming back to this, and by understanding people's goal, I then figure out if this is about an office space wherein you are looking to deal with companies, or if it is about dealing with big companies, MNCs, then that kind of. So it depends. It actually depends on what the client's goal is.
Okay, so commercial is mainly like it cannot be focused on end users, right? It is more of an investment perspective when the client wants to invest.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for end users also, like for us, for example, I would definitely sooner or later invest
buy
in an
an
office rather than renting it out all the time. And
absolutely.
especially when in Business Bay, when you're getting options for grade A offices. So it really depends on your goal. But what I see from the market is that there are certain thresholds people have accomplished in residential, and then they want to enter the commercial space. Or if somebody wants to do the business for their own, open a store of their own, open restaurants of their own, they like to buy the space as well. And then again, I want to just add one point here, is that the tenancy laws. So for example, sometimes people are looking at rental yields, and you need to know if that is where, you know, our skill set of being a legal advisor here also works, is that the tenancy laws, for example, if there is a tenant already in that space giving a rental yield, say, of 5% right now, right, which is less, and when you buy the office and you want to revise, and you see that the tenant has already been given a notice to vacate, so the new tenancy agreement can be as per your current market standard, and which could be in commercial could be 10 to 12% easily in peak locations.
And lastly, what legal and regulatory issues should an investor be aware of?
The legal and regulatory landscape in real estate is very diverse here, and I think a lot of people are not aware about it, that there are certain laws since 2008 when the crash happened, and over the period of time the Dubai market in real estate has grown and it has become more regulated. There is RERA, there are other bodies, the Dubai Land Department taking care of a lot of things, but at the same time they're also not entering into certain territories where Dubai court jurisdiction is needed. So keeping that in mind, broader category I would say is, from a bird eye view, keep track of what you're signing, the booking form. It's very important. If it's non-refundable booking amount that you're giving, you should know about it. Second is the SPA terms and conditions. Once you have agreed to go for the transfer, then there is a sale purchase agreement. The terms and conditions of that is very important. Escrow accounts, which is again a very delicate subject to touch with, but also at the same time it is the right of the investor, and the investor should be aware of it, that your construction linked development and payment milestones are linked, and that's very important, and that's the purpose of an escrow account. It's actually a trust account. And this is something I think legal perspective. And then the tenancy laws, because the tenancy laws, if you are taking a unit which is already tenanted, tenant that property, if you're going to give it to a tenant, you're going to go for rental yields, all your agreements, all your contracts, firstly should be in writing, secondly should be once at least be given a due diligence look, at least by a professional. And then again, not giving power of attorney to anybody. Having hold of your power of attorney is very important, because we see these issues all the time. So we actually want you to be aware of this process of not just buying, but also the entire process of making the money, maximum money of your return as well. So today's topic was more or less covering the broad overview. We'll go project specific, return specific into other episodes. And thank you, Simran, for asking the questions today. And I hope you like this video, and if you do and you think it will be helpful for anybody, or you have any other further questions, get in touch with us. I'm Shireen Kapoor, and my details are in the description box. Anytime if you get in touch with us, we'll surely be able to help you out. Thank you.